tough to win a ball game when you've got 16 free passes. We just didn't throw nearly enough strikes today, and still had the game there at the end where we had a chance to pull it out. But again, Duke's got some talented arms at the end of the bullpen, and they made big pitches when they needed to, and we didn't, quite honestly. Again, gave up a kind of a cheap run in the ninth inning there, and got to make that play with two fly balls that I feel like should find gloves, a double play ball, and another ground ball. Cost us the runs in addition to the free passes. So when you had the free passes in the defense, quite honestly, I don't know that Duke earned a single run today, and it's hard to say that out loud, seeing that we gave up 10. So disappointing day on the mound and defensively for sure. Offensively, again, eighth inning, had chances with the right guys at the plate. Same thing there in the ninth inning, and just couldn't get the big hit. And give credit to the Duke, give credit to Prosh and Bielenson for making big pitches when they needed to.
Tom, I guess the presumption is that we've waited for you a while because you had some things probably to share with your team. What kind of message do you give them after a weekend like this or after a game like this?
Yeah, again, the message was I like the energy. We gave up 6 and we came right back and scored 5. So I was obviously pleased with our energy and our effort, and I stayed. We stayed engaged in the game and kind of fought to the end. Clearly we fell short, but at the same time, we battled, and our bullpen needs to throw the ball better than it's been throwing. It hurt, only getting 3 2/3 out of Hartle and getting 2 out of Massey. I mean, it's going to be really hard to win a weekend series when you're getting 5 2/3 out of two starters. So clearly Massey didn't have his good stuff today. He was kind of feeling the back that he's been dealing with, and hopefully we get a better version of that there next weekend.
So are you saying then that the issue with the team right now, or I guess with this series, wasn't like the energy of the team, the mentality, it was more execution based?
Yeah, I mean, we just didn't throw enough strikes. I mean, at the end of the day, and part of that, was we threw some guys in there today that, hadn't really been pitching in these situations. Hayden hadn't thrown on the weekend yet. Koshi hadn't thrown on the weekend yet. Gervais hadn't thrown on the weekend yet. Blake, hadn't thrown in leverage situations on the weekend yet. And we had to throw those guys in there because our bullpen got stretched the last 2 days. With the Friday night game, it got stretched. Because we had to go to it there in the 4th inning, and obviously yesterday, piecing it together the last 3 innings there. But I've got to do a better job managing our bullpen. That's what it comes down to.
In terms of the bullpen, you've got to be getting closer to getting a couple more of those arms back, right?
Yeah, we'll get Joe Arriola back on Tuesday. He'll pitch against Coastal. Again, Gervais is back out there now. Hudson Lee is pretty close. Crawford Wade is pretty close. I don't know that we'll have either of them for UVA, but we might. And not Wade, but Lee we might have for UVA. And then Chase and Caldwell and kind of behind that. So we'll see here in the next couple of weeks. We should get. I mean, we'll have Arriola back for sure, and then the other guys are kind of a game by game decision.
It's obviously a long season. This is just the first of 10 ACC series. But how concerning is it to you that the problems this weekend looked like in multiple areas? Didn't get some clutch hits, fielding was suspect, relief pitching didn't really get good starts. I mean, it seems like a lot of things to clean up all at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. The solace I take from it is, we had a chance to win all 3 games. I mean, I don't think we can play worse than we played this weekend, but we gave ourselves a chance to win each and every game. So, we'll get better. We'll clean some of this up. The defense has to get better. We got to catch the ball, but we got to not only catch the ball in the field better, but we got to catch. Our catching needs to get better. Friday night we were tipping pitches, and we had pass balls, wild pitches, all those different things. And it's hard when you're catching back there and guys are spraying it all over the place. So, we didn't make the job easy on the catchers on Gilly this weekend.
When you're going through the top of the 5th inning like that, what do you tell on your team? And what do you tell them as they get back in the dugout? Because they obviously mounted a rally on the heels of that, which was important, got you right back in the game. But the top of the fifth just seemed to last forever. It was kind of pretty nightmarish.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was hard to watch for you know, and again, I feel bad for, you know, for all the guys that were out there. I mean, Will Gervais, you know, again, got a big strikeout and got a big ground ball, and you know, and we just didn't, you know, we didn't execute, you know, behind him. So, you know, again, if we get in there 6-2, you know, obviously it's a totally different game instead of 9-2.
In terms of some of these defensive issues, how do they get fixed going forward?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we got to practice. I mean, you know, work on it in practice. Obviously, getting Merrick back, you know, always helps your defense. But you know, but we just got to keep practicing and keep going at it. I mean, again, you know, the two fly balls that foul. I mean, that happens. I guess it's just baseball. And you know, unfortunately, they both came back to bite us. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do. And today they did. You know, the two ground ball plays, both throwing errors. You know that. You know, I felt like the second one, we went to flip to second base and there was nobody there, so we probably just need to communicate a little better. And, you know, that's probably just Seaver King being new to playing shortstop here this year. You know, if he's standing on second base, we flip the ball to him, and the inning's over. But, you know, at the same time, Austin knows that he needs to assume he's not going to be there and be ready to throw to first base if he's not.
Speaking of Merrick, what's his status?
I don't know. I mean, I doubt. I mean, we won't have him on Tuesday for sure. You know, he wanted to go in there and pinch hit at the end, and you know, certainly it was something that I wanted to do as well. But I just didn't want to set him back. You know, again, we can't afford to lose that guy, you know, any longer than is necessary.
Who starts Tuesday?
Ben Shanowski.
And then probably pretty happy with what you got out of Jafar Williams off the bench.
Yeah, for sure. You know, had a couple hits, and you know, yeah, for sure. You know, I think you'll see Javar and Cam. You'll probably see Javar and Cam playing a good bit more here. You know, coming up soon.
In terms of that eighth inning with the bases loaded, and then the how the inning ended, did you see anything out of those at bats that, I guess, just in terms of execution, or seeing anything specific?
Yeah, again, you know, Austin was late on the fastball and then chased the breaking ball. You know, so kind of sitting in between pitches there. You know, he had a couple fastballs to hit early in that at bat, and you know, it just couldn't get on time. You know, and then Javar, I mean, that's a tough matchup for Javar. I mean, you know, he got ahead with two changeups and then threw the fastball past him. You know, and then Gilly. You know, again, we've got a Gilly took the breaking ball he probably should have swung at, and you know, and then obviously chased the breaking ball out of the zone to end the game. But you know, again, Bielensen's, you know, really good. There's a reason he hasn't given up a run yet this year.
Yeah, sorry, you had that right on the ninth, and then looking back to the eighth.
Oh,
So no, you were right. I was wrong with the inning count. In the eighth with Seaver at the end, you know, you have that break in the time when Duke's coach is ejected. Do you think that at all played a role? He just had one pitch to face there.
no, I mean, again, you know, Seaver's the guy we want up in that situation. He's a good fastball hitter, and he got a fastball to hit. He just didn't, you know, again, Proska's good, and you know, he just didn't connect. But you know, again, we want Seaver King up in that situation. We want Nick Kurtz. I mean, Nick Kurtz, he walked, you know, tape out. You know, Adam Tellier got called out on a pitch that I didn't think was a strike. But, you know, again, he had two action breaking balls, and didn't put either of them in play, you know, right before that. So, you know, again, we certainly had chances in the eighth and the ninth, and just, and to your point, just couldn't deliver the big hit.
And then just overall thoughts on pitching performance out of Michael Massey to start the game.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he's okay. I mean, health-wise, I mean, again, I think that's what it's going to be. It's going to be the roller coaster. Last week he felt really good. This week, you know, he didn't feel as good in his work leading up. So, you know, we're certainly not surprised, but until he gets 100% healthy, I think this is what you're going to see. You're going to see a good outing, and then you're going to see a not so good outing, and then hopefully, you know, we'll see a good outing on the backside of it.
And then, sorry, I have just one last one. Where do you feel like Nick Kurtz is hitting wise right now?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely scuffling right now. You know, I think his swing, he's getting closer. I mean, I've been saying that for 10 days now, but I do believe that. I mean, again, his BPs are, and it'll. You know, eventually it's gonna translate to the game. I mean, we've all seen Kurtzy get hot, but we, you know, You know, if we have a different Nick Kurtz this weekend, you know, we probably win 2 or 3 games. You know, so we certainly need to get him going. You know, we want to be the team we want to be. He's got to be central to that.
As you guys are talking to the team after this weekend, what kind of reception were you getting? Do they seem locked into you? They seem
Yeah.
attentive? They seem receptive?
Yeah, our guys are locked in. They're in a good spot. Again, it's, you know, it's a series loss in March. It's not the end of the world. You know, but we got a tough stretch. I mean, UVA, you know, this weekend on the road and Coastal on the road. So, you know, it's going to get harder before it gets easier for sure.
Was it coaches speaking during that stretch, or players, or a mix? Just after the game, today in the locker room during that time.
Oh, it was, well, with coaches, we were meeting as a coaching staff, and I don't know what the players were doing.
Okay, so there wasn't any sort of team meeting of sorts, to your knowledge, after
No.
the game. Okay.
I mean, not that I'm aware of. I mean, maybe the players had a meeting. I don't know.
Okay.
But the coaches had a meeting.
Okay.